I'm a mother. I don't know. Mama mwenye hana mtoto.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. I'm a sister, I'm a wife, yeah. We did the burial. After the burial, like, we went home. Yeah. Like, from there, I remember it was a few days after the burial, where I was seated I was with my mom and with my sister. We were just having a normal conversation. And then from there, I was like, if anyone who's gone through CS will tell you, sometimes you're not advised to sit for long hours. Sometimes you would just want to sleep or just relax. And again, sometimes it can be very painful, so you would just want to, at least lay down. Yeah. So I was there, and I started feeling strange in my body. So I was listening to some worship song, and after that period, I remember I wanted to write something on Instagram. I think I was just writing an encouraging. Like, before then, I was uploading photos of my baby. I was uploading my photos with, like, the whole thing about my pregnancy journey. I had never, like, updated it anywhere. So I was updating it and just, consoling myself that, I'll be okay, I'll be fine after all this, after all this, episode. So I remember I just took my Bible, like, because I think I was feeling pain. I was like, where I was
Physical pain.
yeah, physical pain, yeah, from the CS. So I was feeling the physical pain, and then I decided to just take my Bible and read. I remember reading the book of Revelation, I think chapter 5. And then from that time, a huge force like came over me. I started shivering. And on doing that, I found myself praying. I was praying. And before I realized it, I think I had already torn the Bible. Like, I was holding my Bible and I tore it into pieces. You get? Like, I was just okay, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm tearing the Bible, piece by piece. And at that particular time, because it was a few days from the hospital, at that particular time, the scar was still very fresh. So I'm not supposed to, like,
Physical activity.
yeah, any extreme activity. I'm not supposed to do it. So I just stormed out of the house. I don't know. I think I was probably going to the grave or whatever. So I stormed out of the house, calling, names. Maki, Ben. I remember calling Maki and Ben. I don't know who those people are. And before then, I think I had spoken very strange words to my sister. I told her, I think by, like, all this, I think, started at around 10 p.m. at night. I was telling them, and I was writing some things. I think I have a notebook where I wrote a lot of things. I wrote my eulogy. I wrote my eulogy, and I told my sister, when my husband comes, because my husband at that time, all this was happening in Voi. At that particular time, he was in Nairobi. I told him, like, I've written a lot of secrets in this notebook. When my husband comes, make sure you give it to him. When my pastor, I think I was referring to a certain pastor, when this pastor comes, make sure you give him this notebook. By around 12, I will be dead. But don't worry, after 3 days, I will resurrect. And so they were wondering, what is this girl talking about? What do you mean, like, you will resurrect after 3 days or something like that? And I told her, I'm going to shock the world because I'm going to resurrect with my baby. So all this time, they were confused. What is this lady talking about? What does she mean she's going to resurrect? What does she mean she's going to die? And I told my sister, I didn't even tell mom, because at that particular time, mom had gone, I think my mom was in the kitchen. When I was having this conversation, I told my mom to excuse us. I want to tell my sister some things. So, okay, they are used to me. Of course, this side of me was weird. So when I told her, excuse us, she just excused us. So I told my sister, but at around 12, I'll be dead. I remember calling people. I called my husband's friend, and I told him, you pray for me, and but I feel like at around 12, I will be dead. Yeah, if you want to pray for me, you pray for me. I called people. I called a lot of people. Some of them were not picking because it was at night. Yeah, so I stormed out of the house, and I was like prophesying, you know, like if you come to me, I tell you, wewe uliua mtoto, wewe, like I was speaking bigger things, you know. Like I remember telling someone, oh, okay, my dad is late, so I was telling this man, do you know the daughter that you lost, the daughter that has been in the streets, your daughter Jael. Now I was referring myself to as Jael. My name is Cate, but my name is so Jael. Well, I once did a movie. I think that is the problem with mental illness. It's you really can't explain it. So when I was referring to Jael, I remember there was a movie I acted where I was referred to as Jael. So I was telling this man, you remember your daughter Jael, the one that has always been on the streets, is now here. Jael Matabu, you've gone through a lot of problems. Like referring to myself. So people were wondering, I was just telling, Mom, you've gone through a lot of problems. The problems are over. So my mom was wondering, what is this lady talking about? And at that particular time, when all this is happening, there were people had come out of their houses because I was screaming at the top of my Maggie, Ben, and people are wondering, who is this? Maggie and Ben, Jenny, you just come and see, today is the end. People were wondering, the end to what? I was shouting, I was running. I was telling, if you move closer to me, you will become blind. I was speaking weird stuff. People could not understand, what is she saying, you know. I remember all that continued for a period of time. At around 3, I think they just decided to take me to the hospital where I had given birth. So when I got there, I told them, no, I was not speaking. I don't know what they told the nurses or whoever they were talking to. But I remember telling a certain nurse, God is real, God is real, God is real. So they are wondering, what is this? The movie that I once acted is called God is Real. But now, at this point, they were not connecting, like, God is real. What do you mean God is real? So I was given some I remember I was given some tablets, though I was not willing to take any medication at that particular time. I was given some tablets. Later on, I was told that they were supposed to, make me sleep. But these people waited for me to sleep. I could not sleep at that particular time. So I remember, like, it's a distance from where we live to where my grandfather is. At that time, my grandfather was sick. So I was telling them, you take me to my grandfather. I want to see him. I want to talk to him. And they were wondering, you are sick. Why do you want to go and see another sick person? Like, I was weird. And I told them, I remember this. I told them, okay, so if you have refused to take me to where he is, then may his soul rest in peace. And so people are wondering, this girl is crazy, he's weird, he's talking some things that we can't understand. And like, somehow, like, they took me back home, and I told them, okay, so because you've refused to take me to where my grandfather is, let me sleep, but mark my words. So I got home and slept. And early in the morning, I remember, like, when I woke up, that's when I had, like, those, like, I heard that it's true, my grandfather has passed on. Like, when I'm telling them, may he rest in peace, he was still okay, and he was fine. So now after, like, those were after, like, when that incident happened, I think it was grief on top of grief. But so when they told me, now your grandfather has finally passed on, I told them, so what? Like, why are you even telling me this? I remember now from that time, like, I think I don't know, things changed. Some things changed, because I remember taking a can of Nescafe, like, nikaikoroga yote kwa kikombe, like, I wanted to take something very conk, and I was saying, this is what Jesus did. Like, I was doing the way Jesus
changed water into wine.
Not wine. On the cross, he was given something bitter to take. So I told them, now, Yesu anakunywa shubiri, and I took a whole of, like, you can imagine a can of Nescafe, and I have just, stirred it with a little water, and I was taking it. It was bitter, and I was telling them, yes, This is what Jesus did. He took away our sins and our bitterness. All this time, people are wondering, what is wrong with this girl? There were a lot of incidences. I remember there was a time I would just wake up and just be on the bed. And if they ask me, I'm like, what's wrong with this? I'd get into the shower. Like, I'm not supposed to, like, you're not supposed to, like, shower when you go through CS for a period of time, because the sky is not supposed to have any contact with water. So for me, I would just enter and strip my clothes, regardless of whoever was there, men, women, children, anyone who came like seeing me. I'll just remove my clothes. I was just weird. And so when they tried to control me, I'd be very violent. I remember there's a time I saw my sister. She was wearing this chain. I told her, remove that chain because it's demonic. And she was like, what do you mean? You know, I jumped to where she was and I grabbed it. Like, it's like I wanted to strangle her. I had a lot of incidences that we can call weird for a long period of time. For a long time, like, I could not sleep, I could not eat, I could not drink. I was just there, seated. The much I could do is warm water. I remember at some point at night, I just stormed again, and I wanted to, like, I wanted to hide. I was hiding somewhere because all this time I thought people are out there. There are people who are looking for me. There are people who want to do away with my life. There are people who want to kill me. You know, I will just storm out of the house with a pillow, thinking that I'm carrying my baby.
Cate was diagnosed with postpartum psychosis. Women experience 22 times more psychotic or mania episodes in postpartum period than in any other periods of their lives. Postpartum psychosis (PP) is a rare and severe disease. The prevalence of postpartum psychosis has been reported to be between 0.1 to 0.2%.
Our hospitals should look into some of these things, because like when I went there, I don't know if they were told what I was suffering from, because after tablets that was it. So from there my relatives were helpless. They didn't know what it was. Some people thought it was a demonic attack. Some people thought, like, a lot of things that people could think of. It's important that we know that mental illness is human, and it's not for a given group of people, like for probably the rich, the poor, or people who are possessed, people who did some things. It's a disease, it's an illness that can get anyone, like anyone can get into it. So yeah, so let's not treat it like something that does not happen. It happens, and we need help.
When you see that sister, when you see that brother, who you call mad, who you call crazy, do you know? Do you understand what they're going through, what they're feeling? 'Cause mental is human. Mental is human. Mental is human. Mental is human. Human too. Mental illness is illness like any other. And I need you to show your love, show your kindness, love that family, love those people who you call madmen, who you call psycho. Thank you, humans, who help other humans, but just being human. Thank you, nurses. Thank you, psychiatrists. Thank you, counselors. Thank you, casuals. Thank you, families. Everyone stand up. 'Cause mental is human. 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 Mental is human.